This is actually very controversial because a study has been making headlines about this around the world.
Troubling insights from an alarming new study have women concerned. Researchers in Sweden found evidence that women with high levels of calcium are at twice the risk of dying from heart disease. Increased calcium intake has been a major weapon in the fight against osteoporosis, but calcium supplements could be doing more harm than good.
Really quickly, I want to address words that were used in that tape piece. Something about increased calcium intake has been associated with better bone health. It's really not increased, it's adequate calcium intake. Because in this study, and I'm curious your thoughts on it, it was women who were taking over 1,400 milligrams a day were found in this one study. It wasn't cause effect, but it were associated with double the risk of heart disease.
No, this is huge because, you know, as OBGYNs, we tell women who are going into menopause to actually that they should get at least 1,200 milligrams of calcium a day. So this is huge because fracture risk can really cause an increased mortality rate for women. So then what are the guidelines? How do we change them? Do we lower the rate? Do we check everybody's calcium levels? Also make sure they're taking vitamin D, which increases the absorption. So right now there aren't any changes in the guidelines, but doctors are going to start to look at, should we change the guidelines and should you get it from your food? Like you can get it from almonds, spinach. It doesn't have to just be milk or yogurt or dairy. Salmon, actually, which isn't even up here.
And oranges are great. One of the things that happens, you take calcium, it takes a long time to get into the bones. So if you take a large dose, add one like 1,000 milligram supplement, all that calcium, it's got to float around your body for a long time before it gets into the bones, and it gets into your urine, causing kidney stones and that sort of thing. That's why I think it's so much better to get smaller doses frequently in whole food.
In the study that they did, it was more associated with increased cardiac disease, with heart attacks and strokes, which is something that you definitely don't want to do, since the number one killer of women is
Interestingly, in the same study, women who had less than 600 milligrams of intake per day were also at higher risk, which gets back to something we always talk about. Vitamins are meant to live in a certain range. More is not necessarily better, and I love your comment about when you take a supplement. I'm not saying that some people don't need to take a supplement, but you're getting that big dose all at once. And supplements are some of the least regulated things on the planet, so you don't even know if you're getting that. And
some are mislabeled.
Yeah, it may be way more than the label even says.
And too much calcium can get you into trouble.
So it's huge, but right now the guidelines haven't changed. So just talk to your doctor about how much calcium you should be getting.